Hi everybody, welcome to our mashup of religion and science today. We've been learning about the Genesis and how the earth was created. And we all learned that God created the earth and everything on it. And then he created all the animals, and then he created Adam and Eve. And they were to be good stewards and take care of God's great creation. Well, today we're going to have an experiment that tries to help you understand God's perspective. Now, right here in this bowl, I have some water that I've tinted blue colored. This is to represent the oceans. Now, every so often in our oceans, there might be some spills of oil that might happen. It might come from a boat. It might come from someone spilling things. It might come from a pipeline even. And you can see that I have some on top. Now I'm just using vegetable oil instead of using the motor oil you might see on some other videos. But you can see the little sheens, the bubbles, oil floats.
It pops too.
So, now, I'm sure you wouldn't want this lovely squishmallow named Isabella to get dunked into the oily water, because that would not be good for Isabella. Make her pretty dirty, pretty hard to clean up, right? So that feeling of, oh, don't put the squishmallow in there, that's how God feels about his great creation, that he loves all of his creatures and he doesn't want to see anything bad come to them. So we've got this oil now inside of our ocean. Now, one thing that scientists and marine biologists will use is something called a boom. And that's meant to float on the surface of the water and try to keep the oil from getting elsewhere, to divide up the oil and keep it from flowing other places. So we made a boom out of this thread, and it has somewhat pushed the oil over. It's meant, some of them are absorbent and they absorb up the oil. Some of them just act as a barrier to keep the oil from going elsewhere. Now, your experiment to tie into science is, how are you going to clean up the oil? Now, you might take a spoon and try to skim it off. And believe it or not, there are things, skimmers, specialized boats that go into oil spills that try to collect some of that oil up and then be able to reuse it. Sometimes they might use a dispersant, something like Dawn. They have other chemicals that they spray. Dawn, incidentally, is what they actually truly do use to clean up the creatures. But the problem with dispersants is, true, it takes it off the surface of the water, but it doesn't actually clean it up. It actually makes it fall to the bottom, and then that's where the other creatures are, your fish and your crabs and all of that are down at the bottom, and you're just pushing that oil down to the bottom. So dispersants, while they do help wildlife for cleanup, they're not the best for the ocean. They make it look good, but don't actually help it. Now, you might try to use paper toweling, some cloth maybe. This is a little cotton pad. Try different materials and see if you can find a good way to clean up the oil. Then you're going to report back to me either with a video, photos, or on Flipgrid to let me know what worked best for you. Have a great time, and remember, take care of God's creation. He loves us and he loves all of his creation. Thank you.